Hello, Roger. How are you today?
Fine, Bilia. Nice seeing you again.
Yes, it's always nice seeing you too. I'm chatting to Dr. Roger Addison at the International Society's Performance Improvement Conference in Seattle, Washington. And Roger, being one of the gurus in performance improvement, Roger, I'm going to be chatting to you and asking you some questions.
It's always nice to chat with you. So let's see what you got.
Thank you. Well, what I'd like to know from you, and particularly because you have done this so many times and you have so much advice to share with all of us. When you start a project, what are some of the things that you do in preparation?
One thing, I do a lot of outside consulting to companies. I used to be an inside consultant, but I do a lot of now outside consulting. One of the things I do first is I find the company I'm doing the engagement with and go right to the internet and find out as much as I can about that company on the internet.
Well, that's interesting.
It's always amazing to see. You'll find the visions, you'll find the values, and even some of them have a historic line about their company. So they'll tell you the history of the company, and you can learn a lot about the culture of that organization by looking at the history, the line. So I try to do my preparation work as knowing as much as I can about that organization, and it makes it a lot easier when I go in to talk to them, and as more of a connection. Now, one thing you also can do is a lot of the companies I work with, they have a product or a service. And so I try to engage in one of their products or services as a customer. So I understand what they sell and how they sell it. So it just helps me to make that connection, because often when I go in, people want to know what I already know about their company or about their organization. And I tell you, just sort of it's an icebreaker for me that I can say, when I used your shaver or when I used your product, this is what I liked about it, and immediately it just makes that connection. So I encourage you, as you take on an engagement, take on a project, learn as much as you can about that organization before you go in, and then once you're in, keep learning about what they do and who they are. Now, one thing that I also learned when I do international work, I always partner with somebody in that country, because I don't know all the cultural aspects of that country, and they do. So, for example, Billy, I partnered with you over the years.
I know.
Because, coming from Africa or South Africa, the culture, the society, much better than I do. So we can certainly look at it from the standpoint of improving performance, the tools, and the research, but you know how it works. And people in those countries know how it works. So as a performance consultant, again, if I do other country work, I always partner with somebody in that country. So those are a couple of pieces of advice I can give you as a performance consultant, and at least what I do. Does that work for you?
Yes, it does.
Perfect. Okay.
Do you want to maybe just talk briefly about your approach in terms of RSVP? I use that a lot in my teaching.
Sure.
And I'm sure people would like to hear your words and your take on RSVP.
Well, one of the things that we try to do is we have a lot of terminology. And so one of the things that we try to do is make it as easy to work with a client. And so RSVP sort of was a way I think about what I need to do when I go in and work with a client. And so the R's basically said, what results is that organization trying to achieve? So I always start with the end in mind. What results? The S is that organizations are just big systems, so understanding how they all fit together and the working relationship. The V is, and I think this is quite important, the V is what value added that I can add, but also what's the value that this organization adds to society even. And then the P, and I think, again, I just mentioned it before, when you work as a external consultant going in even to a country, understanding who your partners are. And really, I partnered with you over the years that way, but also even internally finding out who your partners are so you can basically have a successful engagement. that's RSVP, and that's always in the back of my head when I sort of go into an engagement,
Yes.
and it's not hard. Just think RSVP, and you've got a great engagement.
Yes. Roger, thank you very much. I think it will be very helpful for everybody listening to you in terms of the way you approach new projects. And I thank you for your time, and good luck with all the presentations you'll be making during our conference. Very
Thank you,
exciting.
and I'm hoping that some of the people that see the video will come and see ISPI.
Yes.
Because we have, and next year we'll be in New Orleans.
Yes, that's
So
correct.
in the United States, and so
Yes.
come and visit the United
Yes.
States, come and visit New Orleans. It's a unique city, so
And-
thanks, Belia.
Yes, and don't forget we have our European conference in Sweden.
Right, I almost forgot.
September.
Right. Good reminder.
Yes.
The Sweden conference is in the last part of September,
Yes.
and it'll be in Gothenburg, Sweden. I've never been to Gothenburg, Sweden. I've been to Sweden several times, but I've never been to Gothenburg, so I'm looking forward to
Yes,
that. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody come to Gothenburg, because it's a very unique conference, and I think you'll enjoy it.
Yes. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.